Well, really, all this week Israel was waiting for the retaliation of Iran from last week, us bombing the building beside the Iranian consulate in Syria, in Damascus, but it still ain't come.
No.
Yep. So that's probably the whole week everything was talking about. During the times all the other things happening in Israel and all the other news that we're fixing to talk about, it always came up, Israel's waiting to see what Iran was going to do. And it still hasn't been anything.
Yep.
No cyber attacks, no nothing.
Yep.
Well, we'll talk about all that and everything else.
TGR News, broadcasting from the State of Israel.
Welcome back to TGR News.
Hello, hello.
Well, before we get started, let's say thank you. Thank you guys so much. We just recently grew and was able to add more people and another family to the list of families that we help because of you guys, because of your support, because of your desire to help the people in need in the state of Israel, the nation of Israel, the apple of God's eye, the place where the Lord said He'll bless you if you bless Him and curse you if you curse Him. Yes. So, amen for your help. Thank you guys so much for everything you guys do. It is such a blessing to be a part of. It really is. It's just so amazing every week to be able to be the ones, through your support, to be able to take the food that they need so bad and tell them this is from the body of Christ. This is from the body of believers in Jesus Christ. It is just the most beautiful thing to be able to do. And it's all because of you guys. So we thank you so much. If you haven't been a part of this part of the ministry and you want to, all you have to do is go to the links below every video you see, to the Patreon page or to the Support Us page, and you can find any way which you feels best for you to send your support. Or you could also just type in thegoldenreport.com and go to the Support Us page there. And like we say all recently, since Ola started it, while you're down there in the links, there's a link to the Telegram page.
Yeah, if you want to be informed in real time about what's going on here in the state of Israel, that's the link you should press and join a little community on the Telegram channel.
Yes, absolutely. Ola puts out all the news as it happens. I mean, you'll know what's going on in Israel as if you was living here, knew Hebrew, and was watching the news.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, let's get started.
Yeah, let's do it.
On Sunday, April the 7th, 6 months into the war, after the 7th of October, the IDF began to pull out of Gaza during the time when I believe we needed to show strength and not weakness. It was during the ongoing negotiations with Hamas to get the rest of our 133 hostages back home. And it's 133 now, not 134, because as we know, one has died. By Sunday night in Gaza, Israel had stopped all the military advancing and the attacks while pulling out almost all the troops. Only a few troops were left to stay and stand guard, basically, on the areas that had been decided strategically to keep for now in Gaza.
Yeah.
But basically, 95, I'm exaggerating, 75% of the forces that was in Gaza have been pulled out.
Yeah. And the one who left, like you said, they were just gardening from people from South Gaza to go north. They prevent from Gazans and terrorists, of course, to go from South to North Gaza. That's the only reason they're still there. That's what it looks like.
Yes.
Well, there are many things that I disagree with our government right now.
Absolutely. Yes, me too.
This is one of them. Like you said, instead of showing strength and pushing on Hamas, this is the most important time to push on them and let them hear our tanks, let them hear our bombs, let them hear our army.
Let them feel the pressure.
Yes. Instead of that, we're pulling out, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't either. I'm not in the army right now, and this is not just me saying it because I can't say anything, but I usually know a little bit more about the plannings and stuff, but I have no idea actually what's going on because I've been out now for a couple months. But if I had to guess, it's either or. Either they are just pulling out, which would be horrible. That's just what we're doing because of pressure from internationally and especially the U.S. or they're doing a pullout so that maybe they have a way that to thin out the population that's in the south by letting them go back up north a little bit so that they can go in and do an attack in Rafah. I'm hoping that's the case.
Yeah, when you say north, you mean Han Yunis area.
Yeah, I'm hoping that's the case.
Well, we know that we cannot do. I think we'll win this war anyway because we really kick Hamas really bad. But
you was gonna say but.
Yeah. I won't say it on TV. But we still need to. We still need to go to Rafah. We still need to go to Rafah. We need to control the Philadelphia.
Well, we still need to do a lot of things until 133 hostages come home.
Exactly. We cannot just.
We've won the war, except for that one fact: 133 hostages have to come home.
Yeah.
Sorry, I cut you off. It's just
no, you're right. Yeah. That's what I wanted to say. We didn't finish. We have to do Rafiah. We have to do south. It doesn't matter if it's Rafiah or next to Rafiah. It's the south. We have to move south. We have to get rid of these 3 or 4 Ugdot for Hamas left.
Divisions of Hamas left.
That left there. We have to break their force. Of course, there still terrorists will be left inside Gaza, we know that.
Yes.
There are Hamas also in Judea and Samaria. There are Hamas in East Jerusalem. There are Hamas abroad in Qatar.
Yeah.
But in Gaza, we have to get rid of this. At least the big force that they have right now in the south. And
yes.
rescue.
Well, when I say we won the war, except for that fact that we brought in the hostages, that's because the fact of the matter is there's nothing that Israel can possibly do to stop Arabs attacking and trying to kill us just because we exist and we are here in the state of Israel. There's nothing we can do to stop that. That's never going to stop. The only thing we can do is try to put ourselves in a position where to get the longest period of quiet peacefulness until it acts up again, and when it does, put ourselves in a position to protect ourselves so something like 7th of October won't happen again.
Yeah.
That's it. That's if you're a Jew in Israel, you know that you will forever have this problem. This is never a problem you're just going to fix. No one's been able to fix it for thousands of years. It's biblical. It was written that we'll always have
Yeah.
And it's just the way it is, until the end of time.
Yeah. On Monday, after the IDF pulled out most of the troops from Gaza, the people of the kibbutz that were attacked on the 7th of October were protesting, saying that they do not feel safe and do not agree that the IDF should pull out. Seeing how as soon as the troops pulled out of Han Yunis and other places, then Hamas immediately came back and fired rockets into the nearby kibbutz. Then it is clear that the work has not been finished, like I said. Not to mention the hostages that are left in Gaza with Hamas.
Yes.
And Hamas now saying, by the way, that they don't have even the last. It looks like the last hostage deal that maybe will be made. We're talking about 40 hostages, or leaving 40 hostages, and Hamas say they don't have 40 living hostages, which is really concerning.
Well, I've been saying it from the beginning. The numbers that Israel has always put out, these are numbers that Israel has decided that Hamas had. Now, there's a specific reason why Israel has decided that. It's really easy to do the math. Israel found bodies of the Jews that were killed, and horrible things happened to them during the 7th of October, right? And we found the injured, and we found this. And everyone that we just did not find the body of or anything that never came home, we just said, okay, Hamas kidnapped them, whether dead or alive, but Hamas kidnapped them. And the truth of the matter is, things happen all over. It wasn't just in the homes. People were like the big party, right? That was going on. There was people out in the fields. There was people working in the fields. There was people being drug out, people running away from Hamas, got caught out in the middle of nowhere. And the animals around there, I mean, I don't want to get gruesome, but the fact is I was there. And the animals that were around there were eating the bodies and leaving not much left to find. So that's very possible that a lot of them, have just sort of been, disappeared, and that's a problem because Hamas never told us exactly who they had from the beginning, which of course they were not going to tell us, so yeah. But then firing from Khan Yunis, and as soon as the IDF pulled out, that's just a show of we're still here, and that's what I'm saying. No matter what we do, you're never going to stop the Arab people there from hating us and trying to kill us. That's never going to stop.
Yeah.
Well, during the same time of negotiations, the U.S. had been placing a lot of pressure on Qatar to put a lot of pressure on Hamas to make a deal and send the hostages home. This is the first time we have seen the Biden administration put pressure or attempt to put pressure on Hamas to send the hostages home. At first glance, it looks like U.S. has finally, or the Biden administration has finally chosen to stop telling us to stop the war, but what is going on is that U.S. is doing, or the Biden administration is doing everything it can to get the war to stop. Biden is worried about the Hamas supporters in the U.S. that could vote for his next term.
Yeah.
That's all. That's really,
true.
Yeah, that's what's going on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, last time I heard him speaking, it was before he talked to Biden, and he said that the war should stop. The war should stop right away. He didn't even talk about the hostages. But then later he talked to Bibi Netanyahu, and then when this Iranian threat started over our heads, then finally he found some dignity to talk about, okay, we stand next to our ally, Israel, and we will protect them, we will stand with them. And,
Yep.
But before that, it was horrible. He just backing up Hamas.
Without one word of the hostages, how Israel has to stop the poor civilians in Gaza, and we have to take care, and not once said anything about the Israeli hostages.
So sad.
Yeah.
On Wednesday, Israel assassinated Ismail Haniyeh's 3 sons in Gaza. Ismail Haniyeh is the political leader of Hamas, and since the war began, he lived in Qatar. Prior to October 7, he evacuated his family from Gaza, but for some reason, those 3 sons was left behind with some other family. Israel, with the help of Shabak, got advanced intelligence and took our chance. Haniyeh praised Allah, saying he honored his sons became martyrs and died for Al-Aqsa, to the way of Jerusalem.
Yeah.
So we know this death cult thinking and ideology.
Yeah, they think it's a gift to die.
It's crazy. By the way, they showed the video on Israeli news just a few days ago with one of the sons, and he was like 9 or 10 years old. It was back
many years ago.
And he talked about how he want to die for Al-Aqsa and for Jerusalem. And then Haniyeh was there too, talking that he proud of his son, want to be a martyr. Right?
Yeah. No. Well, on Wednesday, the man in Hezbollah that was in charge of moving the money from Iran to Hamas in Gaza to finance their war against the Jewish state was found dead for 2 days with a bullet in his head. It looks like Mossad used a young woman to invite him to a secluded area and then took him out. It took 2 days for the Hezbollah to find him and was listed. He was on a list of wanted in the Mossad since 2019.
And by the USA, he was wanted too.
As the USA as well, yeah. So, I mean, it was classic, looked like it was classic Mossad hit, But, all this stuff going on, this guy worked, this big guy for Iran. We haven't slowed down our attacks on Iranian targets around the world, around the Middle East, and even during the time when everyone thinks we got to be careful because Iran might attack, right?
Yeah.
That's it.
Let's talk about Iran.
Let's talk about it. So talk about it.
Okay, so you know what happened with Iran? We assassinated the guy with the.
Of course, last week, yes.
So Iran was going crazy. I'm reading everything they so show off. So they talking all about the missiles and rockets they have and threaten and all their leaders also on TV. That's how Arabs like to,
Yes.
So every day, like 5 or 6 times, I hear different news and one contradict each other. Like one of them say, we're going to attack your abroad, how you say, consuls. And some say we're going to kidnap Jews in different places. Some say we're going to hit military targets inside Israel. And some say, no, Iran not going to hit direct from Iran, but maybe from Iraq, which they're doing now anyway.
Yeah,
and Syria, which they're doing now anyway.
And Houthis, which they're doing now anyway. Lebanon, they're doing now anyway.
So the same.
They're doing now anyway,
same,
so it's just no difference.
Yeah, so no difference, exactly. But nothing actually happened.
Yes.
Like you said, I asked you in the beginning, I said, what do you think they're going to do? And you say,
nothing.
Nothing? Probably?
Absolutely nothing. Yeah, it's true. Because, I mean, it just, everyone knows. Anyone that makes any common sense out of anything, which, by the way, is very difficult to do with the Arab world.
Yeah.
Lots of times, we've talked about it here many times. It looked like for sure they're going to go now, and then everything calms down.
Well, you told me because they're so close to the nuclear power.
Yeah, but so anyone with any sense is going, we can figure it out. It's real simple. And, Iran is so close to having that nuclear weapon. And if they do anything right now to make Israel attack them on Iranian soil, give Israel an excuse, so to say, then they know that's exactly what we're going to go for. We're going to, all their plants, where the nuclear plants, we know, because we know where almost everything they have is. So they don't want to give us that excuse.
Yeah, exactly. So we're going to see what's going to happen. We'll keep you updated. But it looks like maybe they won't attack. I also heard that Biden really pressuring them not to attack Israel and doing everything in their mind, USA, to stop Iranians from doing any response. But we'll see.
Yeah. Well, you got anything else you want to add?
No, but I want to just ask you just a little thing. Please share this video with people that you know that think alike, with your church, with people that, just can relate to this content. And first of all, they're going to be informed what's really going on in Israel, because our news that we post in here are the real thing what's going on. We don't look for clickbait, how it's called, just exaggerate the news and trying to, this is the real thing. That's
what's really happening in Israel. That's why our news sometimes seems a little bit more boring than a lot of the other people that are out there, because we just say what actually is going on without hyping it up.
Yeah, so if they want to stay connected and see real what's going on in Israel, this is a good channel for them. Just spread the word out. And also, you will help and to connect them to maybe help the ministry and feed the people of Israel.
Help people here. Yes.
And it's really, really important.
Help the people here today, now, right now, helping people, poor people by feeding them, and in the future, when the time comes, by bringing Jews home to the state of Israel. So that's what they're doing here. So, absolutely, great point. Don't forget to join us on thegoldenreport.com. And until next week,
Shabbat Shalom.
God bless.